Hey gamers, what's up? Okay, so I haven't done a video this week, my bad. I've just been really busy, a lot going on with the business and personal, and just been kind of overwhelming lately, so it's been hard just getting in front of the camera and doing something. Thought I'd shoot a quick answers video. Still have tons of questions to answer, and this is always a good place to start when I need something to shoot. I'm just jump right into it. Now, a lot of people have asked me a couple of questions here, and I'm just going to give you quick answers on those. I'm not going to give all the names of the people. But first question, why do you number your videos? A lot of people ask me that. And basically I do it for easy reference, and because I feel since the videos of my channel are kind of a chronicle of the business itself, it's nice to have them like a chronological order type thing, a system, and for me the easiest answer to that is numbering the videos. Also, you know, if someone sends me a message says, hey, I have this old nasty discolored Super Nintendo and I want to refurbish it, bring it back to life, give it a paint job or whatever, how do I start that? And I say, oh, just check out video 108. Much easier than, you know, the whole process of maybe sending them a URL or, you know, search this video, you know, just give them a number, they know exactly where to go, and I'm done. So that's why I number all my videos. Second one is, what are your tattoos of? I have a lot of tattoos, actually. You've probably all seen this one at some point or another. It's a red tribal with a Japanese character. It says Sin. Let me point out that I got this tattoo probably around 97, 98. Before everyone was getting the Japanese character tattoos, before every 18-year-old girl had a tramp stamp that said peace in Japanese, you know, just, I hate that it became so trendy, but I've got that one. I've got on my left shoulder, it's my family's signatures, my grandparents, my parents, my sister, a little room for anyone else later on. On a parchment, the parchment is like stapled to my skin in the tattoo, and there are red tribals that look like they're coming out from under it, like it was put over top of them. Pretty cool. This shoulder, my right shoulder, is my G.I. Joe Transformers. It's got Cobra Commander, Starscream, a Decepticon symbol, and a G.I. Joe armband with kind of a hazy, dusky background. I'll throw a video down below of me actually getting some of that work done. If you guys want to check it out, you can click on that. I get all my work done from Joe at Carpe Diem. He's on South High Street for anyone in Columbus. Shout out to Joe. He's great. He's the only guy I let touch my skin. I also have two tribals on my back. They go down symmetrically and they have red trim. The work that Joe didn't do is on the center of my back. I have a tribal dragon, and again in Japanese it says immortal above it and malice below it. That's really blotchy. I got that done at a place called Sacred Art. They trashed me. It was awful work, and I'm actually now considering getting that part of my tattoos removed. But everything Joe has done for me has been fantastic. It's great work. I'm really pleased with it, and I plan to get a lot more in the future. So, but I will say this, I don't get any tattoos below my sleeve line or above my collar. So if I wear a shirt, I look presentable. You know, I do own a business. I do have to take meetings every now and then. I don't want to be all tattooed up and have people instantly judging me when I come through the door. It's hard enough being in small business without that. So that's that. Okay. MLURZ4957. You guys in these names. When a new game ships to your store, have you ever opened up the box, taken a copy home? If you have, is it alright since you're basically paying to have all the games in your store? Yes. One perk of owning the store is that I get to play whatever I want. So, you know, new games come in. I try not to open everything and anything I can get my hands on. I mean, this is, you know, you're eating into your profit every time you do it. So, like when Reach came out, I'm like, yeah, I want to take it home and play it. So I open one, I take it home, I play it. When I'm completely done with it, I'll bring it back, I'll throw it on the wall, and I'll sell it. Normally I sell it within a week or two after opening it. That way I earn some of the money back on it. I'm not trying to steal from myself. I'm not trying to steal from the store. That's counterproductive. So I have to pick and choose what I do take home. Now, if something vintage comes in, I really need it for my collection, I also have the perk of being able to pay the store whatever the store paid for it. I don't just take it. Again, counterproductive, stealing from the store. And I do have to practice some willpower every now and then. I can't just take everything I want. I have to put on the wall, I have to offer it to my clientele, because if I took home everything I wanted, let's face it, I just wouldn't be in business very long. So it's like the drug dealer, you know, they say don't get high off your own supply. I basically have to do the same thing, and video games are my drug, so it's tough sometimes. Pwned111, PWWND 111, asked if there's one decision in your career you wish you would not have made, what was it and why? I'm pretty happy with all the decisions I've made. I can't even pick one. Say I wish I hadn't done this, because everything I've done has helped me grow. I will say prior to really getting into business for myself, I dropped out of college. I didn't even finish my first year. And that is my biggest regret, because I need something to fall back on if this business fails someday, or if I decide to get out. I don't plan to do this for the rest of my life, folks. I mean, I have a couple other goals. I have a really big video game oriented goal, and it doesn't include this business. So in the future, I may not have this, but then I have to consider, what do I have to fall back on? And a degree would have been a really nice thing to have. And also, I mean, you're learning something new in business every day when you're doing it for yourself, and having that knowledge going in would have been a lot better. So not getting my degree is probably the dumbest thing I've ever done, especially now that I'm in business for myself. So it affects my business now. The second part was, if you knew someone going into the video game store business, what are some words of advice you would give them? Exactly that. Go to college, get a degree, have something to fall back on. I'm not blowing smoke up your ass. It is very important, and everyone needs to consider that. I think it's something like 60% of small businesses fail within the first year, and I have all these people who write me and say, dude, you've inspired me, I'm going to open a store, I'm going to open a store, hey, I want to open a store. And I just want to say, guys, please make sure you have something to fall back on, because it's not easy. You may get into it, decide you hate it. Trust me, I know. It's real hard sometimes, and I hate to see anyone say, ooh, this is a great idea, I'm going to do it, and then have nothing, you know, after they decide they don't want to do it anymore, or after, God forbid, the business fail. So just keep that in mind, guys. darockstardude asks, what is the best thing that ever happened in the history of your store? Success. That's it. I never expected my store to be where it is today, and that's the best thing that ever happened to me. Just having the opportunity to build this store up to the level I have and offer this service to other gamers, and I get to meet gamers every day and talk to people, and it's very cool. So that's the best thing. What's the oldest console you own? Right off the bat, it depends on how you define console. I don't consider plug and plays game consoles, even though they kind of are. You know, they are a system, controller, TV, hooks up, games. You know, a plug and play is a console, but I don't consider it a console. Not a legitimate one, at least. And that's the same way I don't consider, like, the old Pong consoles really consoles. You know, I always thought the first programmable ROM cartridge system, the Fairchild Channel F, that had cartridges I could plug in, I could take out, I could put in a new cartridge, the data was on the cartridge. That's like a true game console to me. So by that standard, the Fairchild Channel F is my oldest console. I do have a couple of Pong systems, like Pong clones, that predate it. I don't have an Odyssey yet. I'm looking for one. If anyone wants to let me have theirs, by all means, send it to me. But I don't have an Odyssey or anything. A lot of people would consider that the oldest console. And, you know, I mean, you could debate that either way all day long. But my oldest console would be my Fairchild Channel F, and then I do have a couple of those that predate it. And all they are the two paddles and basically Pong. So that's really about as old as you can get. I think the Odyssey, that was the first console, 1972. So my Fairchild is from 1976, you know. And, okay, going on, let's see. 200PNYZ, again with the names. Guys, I can't pronounce that. I'm just curious, because I work at a local independent video game store, how do you come up with your prices for the things you sell? I have a system I've been building for years and years and years, where I priced against local competitors and GameStop being the national average as far as, you know, the world's largest used video game retailer goes. And I've come up with a system that really works for me. It allows me to offer a little bit more and sell for a little bit less and still earn a profit that keeps me in business and keeps me paid. So it's completely original and unique to my store. And it's taken me years to build up, but I've got it all figured out for the most part. So that's really about it. A lot of places have computer systems, or they use TAMs or whatever, and I chose not to go with that. Wasted zero space. On the very first day you opened a used store, how did you get a decent stock? Did you purposely seek out deals even if you already own those particular games? Did you take games out of your own collection? I did take games out of my own collection, but my stock when I started was 14 games and a stack of VHS tapes. That's what I started with at the flea market. I didn't have the capital to start up a business. To open up a store like I have now would cost tens of thousands of dollars, you know, and you just, you know, it's hard. I was a regular guy just like you guys. I'm still a regular guy just like you guys, and I was living check to check. I didn't have, you know, anyone who could just fund it for me or a business partner to go into it with me. And I did it all by myself. I did it with no loans, and really that's the best way to do it. You start small, build your way up. I worked a full-time job. I did the flea market on the weekends. I bought, sell, trade until I built up enough to open up my first retail location in 2005 at Columbus City Center Mall, and it was history from there. But it was long and tedious. It took me 5 years to build up enough to open up my first location. So that's how I started. On the same note, if you have a rich relative who can loan you $70,000, there you go. That'll probably get you started real well. Lastly, DoctorDib. What is the most interesting trade-in story or item traded to any variation of your store? That's a great question. Let me give you a story that happened here at the mall not too long ago. Guy, I'm not going to say where he works here in the mall. I don't even think he still works here. He's disappeared because I've kind of looked for him since then. He kind of gypped me. He sold me a 360. He didn't have the power cord for it, but I still gave him the regular price that I would normally give because he works in the mall. And he's like, yeah, I'll bring it tomorrow. He never brought it. So let me throw this guy under the bus real quick. He brings in this console. I plug it in. I use my own power cord to plug it in. And you know that auto DVD, auto playback feature you have? You know, so if you stop your DVD, next time you turn the system on, it just starts playing right where it was. Well, he had that system enabled. And as soon as I plugged in the system, I turned it on. I stepped back. I looked at the system. He's across the counter. He's looking at the system. Onto the screen pops gay porn. Two dudes going to it. Not the middle, like, or the DVD menu, or not like the beginning or the end of the scene. Right in the middle of the hardcore. And they're going to it. And I'm like, and I look at the dude, and he's, you know, and I go, I'm just utterly shocked. I didn't know what to say. Is that on the hard drive or what? And he goes, I think it's a DVD. And I'm like, okay. So I popped out. Thank God there were no kids in the store, or, you know, even anyone else. And I hold it up, and I'm looking at this guy, and, you know, to me it's just hilarious. I don't care if you're gay, whatever. You know, it doesn't bother me. More women for the rest of us, you know. But I'm holding the disc, and I look at him, and the best part is he tried to play it off, and he goes, oh, my roommate said she was going to play a trick on me, and she totally got me. And I mean, he's so feminine. He's saying this, and I'm just like, here's your DVD, man. But that was really funny. Let's see. Oh, you know, I once had an Xbox come in at City Center. This was a long time ago. I remember it this well. Comes in, it looked okay. I plugged it all up, I hit the eject button. When I hit the eject button, the door came out, and I kid you not, I swear, roaches just started like spilling out of it. They were crawling out of the eject tray, out of the actual DVD drive, you know, and crawling up onto the system. There were a bunch of roaches, and it just, all of a sudden, they just started crawling out of it as soon as I turned it on. And I freaked out. I hit the eject button to close the door, and a few of them tried to scurrying back in, and the door smushed a few of them around the edges, so there's smushed cockroaches in it. And I'm like, oh my God, this is foul. I grab the system, I unplug it, and I throw it on the counter. I'm like, dude, get it out. Just get it out. And he's like, what's wrong? And I'm like, dude, it's got roaches all through it, man. He goes, you know, I lent it to my dad. And I'm like, dude, I don't care. Don't tell me. Just get it out. Get it out. And I mean, I felt kind of bad because, you know, I'm yelling at the guy, but I wanted it out of the store. I don't need roaches in my store. That's disgusting. So that was pretty interesting. What else? By far, one of the best things that ever happened in my store was a guy brought me a box of Nintendo 64 consoles. They were just the core consoles. There were no jump packs, AVs, AC adapters, or controllers. Just the core systems. And I'm like, dude, I can't test these or anything. He's like, look, there's 12 of them. Give me $2 a piece for them, you know? And I was like, I guess for, you know, 24 bucks I can have all these spare parts if I ever need them. You know, buttons, jump drive, doors, you know, all kinds of stuff. Okay, yeah, what the heck. So I give him $24. I take the consoles. Later on, I'm going through the box, and as I'm taking them out, there's 12 64 consoles. But I realize there's a little something blue at the bottom, so I start getting them all out, and I'm starting to realize what this is, and I'm freaking out. I pull it out. It's this beautiful, fully operational, you know, I wouldn't call it pristine. It was a little scuffed up, but with some cleaning, it was beautiful. A JVC XI right at the bottom of the box. I couldn't believe it. I flipped my lid, man. It was fantastic. It's still in my collection to this day. I absolutely love it. And I got it for absolutely free. There were 12 consoles. I gave him $2 a piece for. He must not have known what it was. He just threw it in the box. Thought he was pawning it off on me, let me throw it out or deal with it or whatever. And he made my year. So that was fantastic. I could go on all day with stories. You have no idea. Just the stuff I see, it's kind of crazy sometimes. And lastly, Dr. Dib asked, this was, I guess, a two-part question. Has running a video game store made you dislike video games? Absolutely not. I love video games just as much as I always have. My favorite thing is video game history. It's still just what it drives me. I absolutely love it. Now, ironically, because I own this business and because I work so much, I play video games a lot less than I would like to. Those of you who have me on Xbox Live know this, because I am never on. And when I am, it's like Netflix. I'm just sitting back watching a movie, going to sleep or whatever. I do not get to game as much as I would like, and that's a shame. I really wish I could, but you know, I have the rest of my life to game. Right now, I want to do this, so that's it. But that's it for now. I have to get the store open. I'm officially like 3 minutes late opening my door. So thank you guys for watching. I will catch you all later. I'll try to post another video soon. Have a great day.